forward to the weekend. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some good hockey.
But we got a tough battle ahead of ourselves with the Nottingham Panthers, and it's how you perform on the night. One-off game, one-off series, and you don't leave anything in the room. It can be your last game of the season, and we don't want it to be that. We want that to be tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
They're handpicked to beat this, to be on this stage, to beat these teams, and to beat Coventry and Sheffield, and then this team's in this position with a full stadium. So I'm excited.
Big second semifinal between the Nottingham Panthers and the Coventry Blaze. The Panthers with a home ice advantage here. Both teams with high-powered offenses. They both need to have the right game tonight.
Both coaches know what this means. This is their last chance to take silverware home for them. Both teams haven't won the Elite League, which Sheffield has, and this is the only chance to take silverware home.
Best of luck to both sides this evening. It should be a beauty. Welcome to the second semifinal here, the Elite Ice Hockey League playoffs at the Nottingham Trent FM Arena. And we have got formalities over and complete. We are about ready to go here for the semifinal. I'm Brent Pope, and I'm joined by Wayne Hardman. We've already got one entrant into the playoff final tomorrow, which is going to be the Sheffield Steelers. And now we need part two. And who is that going to be? Here we are in the Nottingham Trent FM Arena. Is there a home ice advantage for Nottingham Panthers? Well, there's certainly a lot of faithful fans here tonight, as there is from all the teams across the league. You are listening to this Elite League Finals broadcast brought to you by HighDavid.tv. And Wayne, we look ahead to this contest here. We've got a balanced team, both sides. Nottingham Panthers have players, 6 guys who scored 20 or more goals this season. Coventry Blaze, 5 guys with 20 or more goals. They both have high-powered offenses.
Well, certainly looking at the goaltenders, Mike Robinson coming from Edinburgh has turned the season around, and since he's played down here, he's turned a pretty dismal season around to 92.2 save percentage and 2.39 goals against. I think they're going to shut down the offense. Both teams have got the ability to do that. And I think it'd be nice to see a sharpshooter or a wild scoring thing here. But I think this is going to be a battle of the goalies.
We are about to be underway as Calder, Carlson, and Gilmarson, quarterback by Soderstrom and Weaver for the Coventry Blaze. Tony's, and it's back to Corey Nielsen. He's got Moline, Tessier, and quickly in on top of it is Mark Levers as Perez freezes the puck and has a face-off here within 6 seconds. And obviously a design play by the Nottingham Panthers to get possession and get the puck immediately into the Coventry Blaze end zone.
Referee's just checking to make sure everybody's in the face-off circle correctly.
And it just inches out over the line. A sold-out crowd for the second semifinal. A huge ice hockey weekend and festival weekend for everybody here enjoying it so far. Sheffield, as mentioned at the top of the show, is through to the final. Both these sides here, second and third respectively this season in the Elite League, now with the opportunity to compete to get themselves to compete against the Sheffield Steelers. It goes now here for icing once Corey Nielsen comes back and touches it. You can feel a real energy here already as these two sides have been dueling it all season.
Certainly Nottingham and Sheffield hate each other. They hate each other with a passion. And what better final than the two teams? But Coventry say, hey, what about us? We want to be in the final as well.
David Clarke comes up well off the faceoff. He shoots it, and boy, can he shoot it when given the chance. He just throws it on net there as Bergen is now in the corner, and Bergen, the power forward who's had a standout season for the Nottingham Panthers. He's always involved. He's all action. There's going to be a penalty, though, here early, and it looks like it's going to be coming to David Clarke. And Coventry have possession of the puck. Weaver in front is being quickly having to move the puck. Is right on top of him was David Clarke, but Clarke was entangled there. And we see Maury Hansen now making the call as there's some discussion here between Soderstrom and number 9, Bruce Richardson.
If you look, a sensible move. Bergen went out there and shielded any further afters in the play. And to me, he's the go-to guy. He's the Paxton Schulte of the Panthers, and he can make things happen out there. He can score goals. He can do anything he wants to do out there. Kevin Bergen from Montreal, 28 goals and 37 assists, and he's really had a standout season.
Well, he can take on the tough customers as well. As we're just in the opening minute, David Clarke, 27 goals this year for the British stalwart, superstar of the Great Britain program, is in the penalty box, and he's going to get it for holding the stick, and it's interference actually, as the official call is Chatelet will move it in behind the goal, and setting up nicely is the former NHLer Barrie Moore, who's going to control it here in his left point position. He's trying to stretch the box. He hasn't, tipped in front, and Robinson takes that high, and it's quickly called by Maury Hansen, the referee today, a former goaltender himself, and he saw that kick up and hit Robinson right in the face mask.
There's a sort of a blue haze down there. Not a purple haze, but a blue haze.
Well, it is a festival, and you're right. I mean, we were sat up here in the dark here ahead of this broadcast, and then you get a little bit of a haze down there at ice level because of all the fireworks and everything that goes on to bring the spectacular that is the end of the season Elite League Playoff Finals. And O'Connor will play it back here out on the first power play unit. The young British defenseman has had a great season as well. As Moore will go cross-corner dump. Immediately on is to Chatelet. Levers tries to get it out. He gets it out to the stick of Weaver. And Weaver, one of the best players in the league, and he's a British defenseman as well. There's a talented player, but it's on the stick of Moline, and Moline just does enough to clear the zone. Moline's had a bounce-back year for himself. He was a stalwart when he first came in, and a great offensive player with Tony Hand with Manchester Phoenix. Had a good season last year, but maybe not up to the same standards, but certainly back now, getting the job done for the Nottingham Panthers.
If you notice, Weaver is stuck under the blue line there, so when the puck came back to him, they could cycle the puck back in the Nottingham zone, whereas that wasn't happening with Cardiff.
Touched in front there. Lewis is there from a play from Calder. Calder just throws it in front and gives it an opportunity for Lewis to compete for it. This is a wide side play to Richardson. Richardson's going to take on Weaver, but Weaver's got more poise and quality than that as he pushes the puck in the corner and takes Richardson down. Now skating up well is the leading goal scorer for the Coventry Blaze. This is Adam Calder. Another big season for Calder with 42, last year with 50 plus, but he continues to score year on year.
Bergen made a good interception there and stopped the puck going into his zone, and they're certainly playing heads up hockey and forechecking like crazy.
That is the end of the David Clarke penalty, is sidestepping a onward attack from, and that could have been a penalty there, and how Matt Myers didn't get called, I'm not going to know. Bergen now is going to drive forward. He tries to make a play, but it's a turnover, and here comes Calder the other way, taking it down the left wing. He'll shoot from there, and he does, and almost handcuffs Robinson. Robinson's got to stay to his post as Calder tries to bank it off him there, but interesting non-call there by Maury Hansen on Matt Myers.
Yes, he certainly let that one fly. I think he's very reluctant to call penalties early in the game. He just like to let it flow, not to impregnate the game with too much of his influence.
Brendan Cook skating well through the middle, and he rips it, and Perez will control that one, and he's well out of his net as Perez, about 15 feet from his goal line, closing down the angle. But Brendan Cook has had an outstanding season. He's the leading point scorer for the Nottingham Panthers, 74 in a season with 33 goals, and he has had a great first season with this club.
Yes, he's a go-to guy for the team, and I just can't believe how well they've turned around their squad. After changing their coach and Corey Nielsen coming in, they picked up the loose reins and really turned their season around.
Ed Hill will control it. He's being watched by Russ Cowley, and Cowley with some good speed and good forechecking pressure, but he throws it up over the glass, and that's going to be a penalty as Ed Hill has the puck come right off his stick and up over the glass, and it didn't touch anything else, and he'll be penalized for a delay of game. So we're only just inside the first 4 minutes of this first period.
And out there is Carlisle Lewis, who's had an outstanding season after not having, he was in the Belfast Giants as mainly an enforcer, but playing for Paul Thompson. He's managed 17 goals and 25 assists, but a lot more proactive player, not one-dimensional.
Marson here, a late addition. Another slashing call as Nielsen, the player coach, is going to get penalized in 3 successive penalties taken by the Nottingham Panthers. And Nielsen, the coach, going in the penalty box, and that's 2 defensemen now going in there. As Marson was looking to make a play, and Nielsen just absolutely axed the stick right out of his hand, and he will go to the box accordingly.
This is what the Panthers play for. We're in front of our home crowd. We're in the playoffs. There's nothing to give back for. You got to play this game and win it. So look for a big result from us.
Moving it well, 5-on-3. Marson shoots. Backside play as the Chatelet will re-control it and send it out to Weaver. Weaver is a little bit of a shot pass. He looks like he was going to go backside, but Calder gets a stick on it. It's patiently moved out to Marson, and Marson is a forward, but he's the anchor, an experienced veteran here from Sweden, coming in to bolster Paul Thompson's squad. Knocked out of the air as Barrie Moore Plays it back to Deschadley. Deschadley can step out. Weaver will shoot from there. It's a great block from Bruce Richardson to get down on his knees and get right in the shooting lane. As Coventry
Richardson
regroup.
saved a lot of aggravation for his goaltender there. That was a great stop. Sorry to interrupt.
No, Nottingham Panthers are quickly put themselves in a hole, and they need to make sure to try their best to get out of it, and at least stop digging, as they are now 50 seconds away from being at least 5-on-4. But 3 successive penalties in the first 5 minutes here against the Nottingham Panthers. Hjalmarsson controls it, turns it over, and it's a foot race, and Myers is on his way. Matt Myers straight one-on-one, and he misses the goal. He'll wrap it. He's got a chance. He tries to bank it off. And there's going to be a penalty now coming to the Coventry Blaze, but out of nothing comes something, and Matt Myers, a game breaker, and has been doing it for years. In the big game come the big players, and he knows how to define the moment there. So 4-on-3, face-off inside to the right of Perez. And Bergen is going to take this draw against Carlson. Bergen wins it, but Forsythe will pick up the loose 50-50 puck, and here come the Coventry Blaze again. Carlson, wide side play, skating onto his Danny Stewart. Great forechecking pressure as Moline gets bounced to the ice. Danny Stewart going to try to find a way to find Forsythe in the middle. It's O'Connor now here on the point position. Young British defenseman O'Connor patiently moving the puck and out here in a very crucial impacting situation. 4-on-3 in this first minutes of this game. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor will rip it from there, and it's blocked by Moline, getting right down. And Moline, not necessarily known for his defensive skills, but he gets right down there and blocks a shot, and the level of commitment here being displayed by the Panthers early is a shot from O'Connor, and it's Ed Hill who comes out of the box, and Nielsen's back out. Now it's the Panthers with a power play, as O'Connor is quickly on top of it, forechecking, and Ed Hill finishing his play strong on him. Stewart holding it up. He's got no support, but he'll move it back here to his D partner, and it's Forsythe who will have it safely down the ice, and really a chance there for Nielsen to have picked that up and gone the other way, but he jumped his stick. And here is Nielsen looking to move the puck and get Tessier involved and try to get this Nottingham Panthers offense ignited. They've had a great chance. It's been by this man right here, Matt Myers. Had a breakaway, but couldn't finish it off, as Myers will set up with 35 seconds remaining on this Nottingham Panthers power play. Looking for options is Tessier. He can certainly unlock them if you give him a window, any sort of sniff. He's going to roll here, and he will shoot from there. Dangerous play, and a chance, and a save from Perez. Point-blank range right there. And it was a huge save and a much-needed one there, as Brendan Cook was Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, that was an excellent opportunity with everything to play for. Number 18, Cook, had the goalie down, but he couldn't put it up top. Cook not unafraid of scoring with 33 goals so far this year. Certainly was looking to put one up top over the falling Paris, but not to happen.
And another penalty as Myers has his helmet knocked off his head. It's going to be against Coventry, and you see Myers, Matt Myers, this is, skating towards his player bench, and outcomes of the goal is Robinson on a long play from Nielsen up the ice, and that was right on the draw there, and Matt Myers getting involved, and we will see which Coventry Blaze player is going to be penalized. And it looks like Dan Carlson's going to go. And Dan Carlson, not necessarily known for that type of play, but he could play that game as well. And he is going to sit in the box. I mean, saying that though, Dan Carlson, 94 penalty minutes this year for a sniper, an offensive player. He's getting himself emotionally involved early.
So they got a 9-second 5-on-3. They certainly have 2 minutes worth of a power play here, and a great opportunity for the Blaze to come back again.
Well, it is the Panthers now with a 5-on-3 opportunity. And they've had that partial breakaway from Myers moments ago. And there's been 5-on-3s for both sides early in this game with 12:40 to go in the first period. There's a big hit on Soderstrom as he gets pounded hard by Moline. And a real level of hunger and urgency to this Nottingham Panthers team that's promising for their hopes here today. A big crowd here on hand, sold out. As Clark goes back, Moline, loose play, right out to Cowley. Cowley will step right in and take that one as Nottingham looks a little confused as to who was taking the puck.
Yes, that was, I don't want it. So Cowley stepped up and let a blaster go.
Another great hit from Danny Stewart, an energy player and a spark plug type player, as he makes his way off the ice in favor of Chatelet. But this is Moline who gets it around the end. A minute left, 5-on-4. Clarke, who tries to slingshot one but has it fumble off his blade. And Galbraith will pick it up and rotate it back for Richardson. To Bergen. Bergen almost handcuffed, but he keeps it in the line. The referee's right on that blue line. There it is. Bang, bang play. As it goes from Galbraith to Richardson, and it's in the back of the net. And the Nottingham Panthers are up 1-0 here.
That was a beautiful setup play. Sitting on the back. No trouble whatsoever. Banged it in the net. Sir Paris had nothing to say about that one because he was facing a shot from another angle.
Galbraith almost with his back on the boards in the goal line, really best part of 45 feet away from the goal, and he makes a long pass straight across the goal mouth right to Richardson and bangs it home, and it was an easy goal for Richardson once it landed on his stick blade. And you watch the Panthers faithful getting involved and dancing to the music. It was a well-taken goal and a power play goal. And both teams have been exchanging penalties here early, but it's the Nottingham Panthers who make the most of it. And it's Richardson who gets it, confirmed. And there's another play. Myers just takes a penalty right off the draw against Carlson. And both sides are actually running over and spilling over a little bit emotionally at the moment. They need to get themselves in check as Myers, right after they take the goal, just cross-checks Carlson right in the face, and now Coventry is going to have a power play.
Yeah, you would think that Corey Nielsen would get control of his players and say, we win this by being out of the penalty box and scoring goals, not by taking cheap penalties.
So at 11:37 in the first period, it's Matt Myers in the penalty box. And he's had it was Carlson and him that were involved previously, and Carlson took one for hitting Matt Myers high, so it's payback, but is payback going to hurt you? Is the question. Calder takes it up high, gives himself some space, and they're stretching out this Nottingham Panthers penalty-killing unit. Weaver actually gets hit with a puck as he's skating through in front, and Tessier will be content just to lay it down in behind the Coventry Blaze goal as Cook will go off the ice, and here comes Jonathan Weaver to Hjalmarsson. Hjalmarsson into the corner to Calder. Weaver will shoot from there if given a chance. A nice little wrister. In front is Carlisle Lewis trying to get it, but couldn't finish it off, and that's a slew foot. I'm surprised no penalty there as Maury Hansen was right on top, but Calder will step in and shoot. And it goes off a skate, and Ned Hill has it deflect, but it's kept in. Good work by Calder to keep that puck on his stick, and Carlisle Lewis will hold it up. They want to get him in front of the net to have a shot from the point. Weaver will shoot there. He was looking for that shot pass that he's famous for. Tries to get the goalie to commit to it and then find a loose stick. Weaver shoots and rips and misses the net. Hjalmarsson will pick it up as it is Mark Levers going for the effort to swing it down the ice, loses his glove in the process. 40 seconds left to go in the power play here for Coventry. Calder, wide side to Hjalmarsson. Shot, misses. And they'll recycle again. Great sustained possession. Another play in front, tipped, but Nottingham recover, and Moline will send that the length of the ice. Line changes for both teams as they come over the boards there in great numbers, and this is O'Connor. Lays it in for Chatelet to be on it first. Chatelet touches it in behind to Stewart, and the power play is marching down. O'Connor keeping it in. Good patient poise play there. Good hands for the youngster. He loses his footing there. Chatelet will shoot, poise in front, and touched in front. As the Nottingham Panthers are going down, Matt Myers back on the ice. He goes straight to the puck. And Mark Richardson playing defense now. Doing a great job for the Nottingham Panthers in the second half of the season. It is Barry Moore moving the puck well. Great transition from the Coventry Blaze. They move from that neutral zone right back in the offensive zone again. Nottingham can't get enough on it to get the puck out, and Soderstrom will prevent it from getting any further. There is a Chatelet down low, and Coventry looking for a line change. They'll have to pull back as Nick Tonys will set up behind the Panthers goal, and the Panthers chant rings out as Galbraith assisting on the first goal. Makes a nice play here to Brendan Cook. He skates in. Well, he scores! Wow! Bottom right, off the right post and left. He ripped it hard and low. And Perez was beaten cleanly. It's 2-0 Nottingham Panthers.
Well, Corey Nielsen said they had something special to give to their fans tonight in front of their home crowd. And boy, have they brought something special in this opening period, Brent.
Fantastic taking goal. We talk about Galbraith, who made the assist on the first goal to backdoor to Brendan Cook, and this time now it's Brendan Cook that gets this one. It was Bruce Richardson that he assisted on with the first goal. But Galbraith involved in both of these plays, but it was really, that was all about Brendan Cook, who just stepped right in and used the defenseman as a screen. But it was an absolute rocket of a shot, but it was the accuracy in which he placed it is the reason why the Nottingham Panthers are now up 2-0. Incredible goal, a game-breaker goal. Brendan Cook. And it is Jake Galbraith who gets the assist. And it is now out in the neutral zone, but my goodness, the Coventry Blaze can hardly believe what happened. Is both those goals were quality goals. They weren't a fluke by any means.
They certainly picture perfect. You couldn't see a better slap shot. It just crept in the post.
It was inch perfect inside, and it rattled both posts, and then just made itself inside the mesh there. Didn't really get to the back. It just tucked in about 10 inches inside the post, but doesn't matter. It's in. And here's another chance. It's Moline's on a breakaway here if he can get moving. And he's being caught up. He turns back up, and he knows he's under pressure, and he ran out of real estate there as foresight was taking him right down a dead-end street, and Moline will get himself off the ice.
Yes, he had a long shift out there, and he didn't have anything left in the tank. And
Nottingham Panthers executing perfectly here. Is now, what are you going to see from the Coventry Blaze in response to these two goals? Bang, bang, right in the heart of Coventry Blaze hopes here this evening. As Dan Myers can't get the puck through, Clarke keeps his feet moving, trying to draw a penalty on Soderstrom. It's Richardson to Clarke, who's going to step right in, and he gets hooked, and that's going to be a penalty. Soderstrom takes down David Clarke, and that was all about keeping your feet moving on the play.
It certainly was, and Soderstrom was worried about Clarke getting around the backside and maybe doing a wraparound, and he wasn't going to take any chances there, so Clarke had to go down, and that's what he did.
David Clarke involved in taking a penalty early in this period. It was the first penalty of many that we've had here, and there was no damage done on that particular play, but he will get an opportunity now to put some more offensive pressure against the Coventry Blaze. But it's Matt Myers, Cook, and Richardson up front with Tessier and Corey Nielsen, and they are looking to pull the trigger for goal number 3, as it's now on the stick of Tessier. One-time shot from Nielsen, and it's deflected as Richardson. It's going to be 2 minutes for high sticking on Soderstrom. And into the corner is Richardson, who's got to patiently come out of there. Stewart has lost his stick. Matt Myers in front trying to jam it on that short side post. And Richardson patiently back to his player coach, Nielsen. And Nielsen, who's scored a hat load of goals for himself this year from this power play opportunity, as he bookends with Tessier as they're working back and forth. And Coventry are able to clear the puck out of the zone now. And this is Russ Cowley taking one-on-one moves. He's got some great ones.
Danny Smith rushed off the rink, didn't have a stick, and he climbed the barrier just where the door opened. He went for a ride on the door.
We talked about Corey Nielsen, 66 points in the season, 15 goals from the point position, and those 51 assists. He's about to fire one here now. He lays up, though, for Galbraith. Galbraith already 2 points tonight. Nielsen shot there, and Nielsen scores. We talk about it. He did it. And the fans here for the Nottingham Panthers absolutely love it. The Panthers are up 3-0, and they're starting to run away with it.
And the shot was so hard, and Paris saw a little of it. The puck bounced the water bottle up sky high, and it's a 3-0 hockey game. And the Panthers are saying, bring on Sheffield.
And right now you're waiting for Paul Thompson, the Great Britain coach, to call a timeout here right now for his club team, the Coventry Blaze. They're looking to regroup. The Coventry Blaze can hardly believe what's happened here. And it is another goal for Nottingham. The third one. Corey Nielsen will score, but it is going to be a timeout here right now. And what do you say to your team after you fall down 3-0 here in this opening period?
Corey Nielsen just rifled that shot. There's only going to be a goal unless Perry's got in front of it by mistake because he didn't see it. No move whatsoever, no flinch, no nothing.
Gets himself set and ready to drop the puck again. Coventry's timeout is over, and they need a real resurgence here in the remaining part of this period if they have any hope of slowing down the runaway train that is the Nottingham Panthers at the moment. But every goal the Panthers have taken has been a decidedly impressive goal. And they've known exactly what they wanted to do, and they have done it. And all kudos to them. Corey Nielsen was chatting about wanting to get a job done here. It's one thing to talk about it, but quite another to do it. And Nottingham are certainly getting it done now. But here are the Blaze coming the other way as Lewis tries to shoot high and hard. And Danny Stewart onto the puck first. Carlisle Lewis bumped by Richardson on the play. This is Tom Watkins down low trying to control it. And Nottingham are back in good numbers. They get a stick on it and shovel the puck the length of the ice.
There's been such a rivalry between Nottingham and Sheffield all year. And Sheffield have done rather well over Nottingham this year, and I think the fans are looking for a payback. And certainly if a game goes like this way, it'll be a huge contest tomorrow.
Well,
Paul Thompson over there and working the piece of paper with his go-to scorers and say, guys, you're not covering your man, and step up and take somebody out there. Can't read what he's actually saying, but you can see him frantically working with his script sheet there on what they're not doing and what they should be doing.
Galbraith just arriving back to the face-off, and it will be difficult moments indeed for the Coventry Blaze coaching staff and trying to find a solution to their current problem. They're down 3-0. It's 5 minutes to go in the first period as Kevin Bergen is going to lead this Nottingham Panthers power play in the absence of Corey Nielsen, who's gone off the ice to receive some medical attention. He received a high stick from Barry Moore as Galbraith comes up behind the goal. Quick moves there from Galbraith. He's trying to find an open blade. He's got one now. It's out front. It's Clarke. And a shot there. Didn't really get everything on it there, did Clarke, but he certainly just stepped right into a great scoring position.
And that's just what they're able to do. They pick out a man right out in front of the net, unmarked, and Clarke was very unlucky not to score.
Clarke staying high in the slot now and giving a little bit of depth to this attack here from the Panthers. He's just trying to hit a pocket at the right time, and he will shoot it as a one-time option. And they have that with Corey Nielsen. They have it here with Bergen. Backdoor Galbraith, and what a save there from Perez. It was good puck movement from Bergen down to Galbraith. Galbraith trying to come out of that tight space and get a shot, but it's taken from him and thrown down the ice. Robinson will hold on to it patiently and play it only for his team as this is Dan Tessier skating up, and the puck just pops off his stick momentarily. He moves it wide here to Myers, and Myers been involved in this period as he always is in the big games when it really matters. He's going to move the puck back to Tessier, the catalyst on this shot, and that was going to go wide side blocker, but Perez sees it through the screen. And Richardson now up front as a forward, very versatile player, an effective player, Denny Myers, moving it back down to Matt Myers. No relation. Share the last name. Richardson patiently back to Tessier. And this is good work here from Nottingham. They don't need to rush it. They've got still over 2 minutes on this power play. It was 4 minutes in total, and they are making it difficult as Tessier gets hit hard from behind by Stewart, and that'll go down length of the ice, and you wonder if Tessier got his face on the edge of the boards there, but it was certainly a pretty strong hit from Stewart.
Yes, he certainly put everything behind it and felled the Nottingham player.
Myers slowly making his way up the ice. Galbraith again playing the puck into a great area, and every time the puck goes through him or gets on his stick, something good is happening for the Panthers. They're battling in the corner hard. Coventry Blaze are as well, matching up against them, and Dan Carlson is playing some nasty, aggressive defense against Richardson down in the corner, and Carlson needing to push off against something, and who better than push off against one of the other team's top scorers and try to get under their skin.
Certainly, it's good to see both teams battling hard for the puck, which Cardiff failed to do in a lot of the first match, but Coventry 3-0 down, and certainly is not relinquish their focus on trying to battle the puck down in the corner and chase it wherever it is.
You got to make your own luck, and hard work is generally the key to get there and to have as much luck as possible. It is won, though, by the Panthers, as they have been doing a lot of the good things, but the goals they have taken, they have executed when given the opportunity. It's out here again. Bergen handcuffed momentarily, but over to Clarke. Clarke is going to rip it from there, and he shoots it. It's down low and taken well by Perez. Another high stick. Maury Hansen doesn't see it, and there's more sort of high sticks and collisions and helmets and gloves falling off in this first period than I've seen in a while.
Yes, and Maury Hansen was on the other side of the rink, and certainly the player got up and wasn't afraid of vocalizing what he thought of the call, or non-call as the case may be.
Bergen, and he just pulls up and he's moving up patiently and just a little too patient as his line mates were looking to get in on top of the puck, and it's going to be an offside call. And with 2 minutes to go in this opening period, would you have called this sort of scoreline before the game? I don't think either of us would have thought this was happening tonight.
Well, I told you I felt it was going to be a close scoring game. It just shows you what I know about hockey.
Well, the power play has been spot on for the Nottingham Panthers, and every goal has been quality. Kind of highlight reel stuff that you want to put on your CV if you're sending out a video CV of yourself, which this summer to agents and the prospective teams, because these guys are getting it done here right now tonight. And this is a big showcase weekend, and it's an important game to play well in.
Exactly. And they certainly rip-roared goals, you know, off the post, and a slap shot from the blue line from Corey Nielsen, and stuff that you write legends about.
It was the opener there that really, from Galbraith right across the goal mouth there to Bruce Richardson on the back door. And it was just it was a great passing play because Richardson couldn't fail from there. It was wide open, and Perez was just frozen to his short side post, and it's hard to believe that he was that available and that open was Richardson on the backside. But he was, as here comes Danny Myers skating it up. He's got Tessier to his left. He'll drop it into the corner, but it's right in the stick of Forsythe. Forsythe will play it off the glass, and it kicks up into the stands area. It's not going to be a penalty because it reflected up off the boards in glass area. And 14 seconds left to go in the Barrie Moore high sticking penalty. And the Panthers have been unable to execute on this particular power play. They've done so much else though before.
I think when you're 3-0 up, you'd like to just let the clock run a bit, and if you press too hard, you can find yourself having a shorthand goal scored against you. So 3-0 up, let the clock run down and come back for the second period and see what happens then.
Good patient puck movement as the penalty does expire. Clark right into Moline. Moline will shoot from there. It's blocked. His levers will be the first one in the corner, and he's supported well by David Clarke, and Moline right on top of it. And they're just anticipating that play extremely well, and that's what happens with confidence, and they will have the confidence with the scoreline and things going as it is right now for the Nottingham Panthers. But the shot is blocked, and Danny Stewart is met there by David Clarke as Hill has a big hit on Stewart at the blue line. And Barrie Moore trying to find it in front, and it is Robinson, who doesn't have to face the shot in the end, as there was some great defense denying Coventry any opportunities to get a second chance at the puck. With 35 seconds in his opening period now, it's the Panthers again. It's Dave Clarke lofts it deep back to the Coventry blue line. And Soderstrom taking it away into Chadley. In a soft pocket there for Jamieson. Shot and scores! And what a late goal for the Coventry Blaze. The Chadley just throws a soft area pass for Jamieson to step into. And Jamieson doesn't get all of it, but he gets it to the net most importantly, and it finds a way through Robinson.
And that's just about what Paul Thompson would like to see. At least get something back out of this first period after having 3 goals scored against you with 22 seconds left to go. It was, as you say, almost a pass in front of the net, hoping someone would deflect it in. I didn't actually see who scored the goal.
We'll wait the announcement here. And it is. We'll wait for the announcement. Jamieson shot the puck. I think it was tipped in front, and we'll determine just who was the last person to touch it. And it's number 39, Danny Stewart, picks up the goal as he tips it in front. But what a little bit of taking. I mean, it's more than just the one goal that represents. It means that the Coventry Blaze are still in it, and they were able to do something about it when they needed a goal, most importantly. And Corey Nielsen hasn't come back to the bench since he went down. And since he went to the dressing room, Nottingham Panthers had that 4-minute opportunity, didn't do as much with it. I'm not saying that Coventry necessarily were coming back, but they certainly were holding water, and they got themselves a little bit of good fortune in that late goal.
Yeah, certainly they need Corey Nielsen out there to continue his good work and how he's got his team motivated to have a 3-0 lead and go into the period and a 3-1 lead. And I think Corey Nielsen would have that any day long. Go into the semi-final 3-1 up after the first period no coach would say, no, I'm not going to have that.
Outstanding first period. It was a power play goal. It was Richardson who led it off. A great play from Galbraith. Cook, who made that great shot, stepping over the blue line, post to post. And then Nielsen, the player coach, with a power play opportunity going high over the shoulder of Perez in the Coventry Blaze goal. But a late one here with 22 seconds left to go. Danny Stewart touching down a Lee Jamieson shot from the point, set up by Sylvain de Châtelet. And after one period of play in the second semifinal, it's the Nottingham Panthers 3 and the Coventry Blaze 1. Teams back on the ice for the second period of this second semifinal. Sheffield Steelers already through to the final, defeating the Cardiff Devils earlier 5-2. And after one period of play, it's the Nottingham Panthers 3-1 up.
Paul Thompson will be droning that into his players that, yeah, they got a 3-1 lead, but everything went for them in the first period. Now it's our turn to turn this game around. We got one back in the dying seconds of the first period. Let's go and put that to good use in the second period and claw back this game.
Tons of penalties in that opening frame, and right from the off, within 5 seconds we had a penalty. And there hasn't been any fights or anything yet, but there's just been a lot of niggle and some nasty incidents and high sticking and helmets coming off and gloves being slashed off players. And we are back running here now inside, and Corey Nielsen got a high stick and had to go off for some medical attention. The player coach for Nottingham Panthers scored the third goal. And really, when he left, actually, there was a little bit of a momentum change on the ice, and you could feel it. But Tessier was skating up well for the Panthers. He holds up. Calder is going to throw an extra stick on him, and that's what the Coventry Blaze need to do now. They need to come back in numbers defensively and support well and try to get this game settled down so they can slowly pick away at this lead.
Yes, that was an errant pass by Emerson that just threw the puck up the ice and to anybody in particular, but there was nobody on the right side.
Nick Toney's across to Nielsen. Nielsen all the way up the ice. Clarke is positioned there well, and it's a good play by Clarke right across the blue line. Is onto the ice is Richardson, but this is Cowley skating the other way. Cowley makes an inside move. Nielsen will throw it around the boards. Right to it first is Weaver, who will shove it back to the corner, and Nielsen is able to get enough on it. And Clarke is there to get it out of their defensive zone. D-to-D pass. As Forsyth receives it from Weaver. Stepping up is Toney's, and making an extra move is de Châtelet in front. And Toney's really taking an unnecessary gamble there. And that is those types of plays that with a 2-0 lead or a 2-goal lead, as they say, is the worst lead you can have. You almost are feeling comfortable that you've got it under control, but you're only one shot away from really being under pressure. And it's a turnover here, the Panthers. And Coventry coming out of their own zone as Bergen was looking to finish a hit. That's a nice touch on from de Châtelet out to Cowley. Out to the far side is Forsyth. And it is on the stick of de Châtelet. And he's met by Clarke as it's 3-on-3 coming in the way. And Bergen will fire it in on Perez. And Perez is a little bit uncertain what to do with the puck as it just kind of bounced off him into an area. And then a quick play for Nottingham again. Stick fake by Nielsen. He keeps his feet moving. And Denny Myers tries to usher the puck around the boards. He can't quite get it out. And Myers is able to get it on the stick of Galbraith now. And Cook going wide side. Galbraith stepping in. Hit hard off the back of the Nottingham Panthers player. And right now you watch the Coventry Blaze trying to make some plays, and they're actually fading back on their heels in the defensive zone, and they've turned the puck over a couple times loosely, giving more opportunities to the Panthers.
But Panthers are playing so well at the moment, negating any of those opportunities. They just need one clear break to get that next goal, and then they'll be on the driver's seat. But the Panthers are saying, no thanks, we're not going to give you that one, and we're going to put one in ourselves.
Greg Wood out for the first time in this game for the Coventry Blaze as Paul Thompson tries to get all of his players going and get some more energy into his top players who are going to make a difference. And he needs to give them a little bit of a break so they can keep playing at that high level in order to break down this lead, as there is Carlisle Lewis running right into Richardson behind the goal, but it's out into the neutral zone now. And Galbraith will touch it deep into the Coventry Blaze end zone, and Soderstrom having to go back and looks a little disoriented there as he's trying to collect the puck. Stewart skating well, stepping right through, and it's turned over as the Nottingham Panthers defense stand up. Tessier turns it right onto his stick, takes it right from Carlisle Lewis, and he tries to go long side. And Coventry look a little sloppy here at the moment. and look a little bit just disorganized or a little bit kind of confused as to just what's happened here tonight. It did, and there's Levers, and that's what you would call a cross-check, looking to hit from behind. And both these guys and both these teams play a little bit of a nasty brand of hockey against each other. And you'll watch this game with interest to see an incident that you can just sort of feel is going to develop at some point here. Maybe not a fight so much, but maybe a nasty hit from behind. And it's got that sort of feel about it. But Danny Myers got the puck here now, looking to play it in deep, and Bergen battling well in behind the goal. He'll come out from there. If given a chance, he does. Danny Myers as well. Good work, rolling into the corner, and he does a little bit of an exchange back for Clarke as he keeps his feet moving. And
Coventry can't seem to get a hold of the puck, and it's bouncing Panthers' way every time.
Precisely, and I was just going to say, it is sort of a disjointed play at the moment. Both teams, and Coventry even more so, as the pressure is on them to control the puck and to make something happen, struggling to get those connected passes and string a few passes together. Richardson patiently moving up now. And it is into the neutral zone area, as Richardson will come out of the offensive zone and come back in, but nobody's really making plays right now. It's just about establishing territory and trying to keep the puck in certain zones, and Coventry are trying to get it into Nottingham's zone, and they're unable to do it, and they'll send it the length of the ice. No icing call there. Galbraith trying to put a play together. He has done up to his defenseman, Corey Nielsen. Myers down deep. Played across the goal mouth. And Nick Tonys will shove it deep into the corner, and Cook is going to battle with Soderstrom there. Soderstrom with his elbow up high. He's supported by Myers as Myers skates right in, and an ovation for the play there as he read it well and anticipated that his teammate was needing his support. As Cook and Nottingham is completely content to just control this play, and if Coventry give them the opportunity to do so, they will carry on as Tonys will shoot from the point. It's bouncing around. Here's a chance for Nottingham as diving across was Cowley, looking to take away any point-blank play. Galbraith with a one-time shot. Doesn't get all of it. Misses it to the bottom left side. And with 14 minutes left to go in the second period, it's an icing call and a break in action. We had a series of play there without a face-off, but not much really happening within it, but a good chance there for Galbraith.
Yeah, if you can describe the play, it's all falling Nottingham's way, and they're just letting it happen. You know, they're not pressing that heavily, but the puck seems to be falling in their grasp, and Coventry just can't seem to string a few passes together.
Tessier out on the draw now with Levers and Moline. Hill with Danny Myers in the point for the Panthers. As Stewart is ejected from the faceoff circle in favor of Châtelet. Châtelet ties up, but Nottingham win the draw, and Hill doesn't keep it in. Here's a little bit of a partial chance for Coventry to control the puck. Moore will control it. He shoots it, and it tests Robinson, but there's an offside call on the play, and they really need that, the Coventry Blaze. Need someone to grab that puck and really start to drive this game, and you need to start looking to Dan Carlson and Adam Calder at this moment. They're leading scorers, and even to Châtelet to start taking that puck with possession and making plays.
Yes, and Paul Thompson is such a creative offensive coach that he's got dynamic players on there, and they've got to take control of the play and make the puck work for them. At the moment, the puck is going anywhere except on a Coventry Blaze stick.
Carlisle Lewis keeps it in, and again it's bouncing everywhere as the puck looks like it has legs on it, but Danny Myers will skate up into the Blaze end zone. O'Connor loses his footing as he fronts up on him and stops on a dime. Tessier rolling, looking for passing options. He's got it back to Myers again, and Myers was thinking of shooting, but he's just content to lay it deep in the corner and make the Coventry Blaze work for their possession. They get out of the zone now as coming across is Lewis, but Lewis is met quickly by the Panthers, and Lewis is going to hit Moline hard there, and Moline out of the way at the last second, almost Matador-like. As the bull was coming across, he just moved out just in time. As Perez will glove that down like a center fielder would in baseball, and it's up the ice and into the Nottingham Panthers end zone, but they need the puck on their stick, the Coventry Blaze. Here's a chance now as Lewis enters a shot, and a pretty good save there from Robinson.
That's the first pass, and ending up being a shot where Lewis received a pass on his stick and was able to first time on Robinson, but they just can't seem to string a few passes together, and the puck is going anywhere but to a Coventry Blaze stick. It goes in their skates, goes up the boards and into a Panther stick, or anywhere but a continuous playmaking situation for the Coventry Blaze.
Carlson up against Richardson on an important draw here. Carlson does well to come through and keep the puck. He's right on top of Nielsen. Nielsen out of the zone, and Clarke is on a partial break. He's got support in Bergen. Clarke will shoot, and it's Bergen and coming across, and it's a great little play. It looked as though Clarke was going to dip the shoulder and cut right to the net, and he laid it back nicely for Bergen, who shot it as a one-time, but coming across was Perez to deny him.
Yeah, Richard was there. Bruce Richardson was hoping that anything would drop out of the pads, and Coventry Blaze weren't very happy about that, but that's what forwards are prepared to do. You know, I got to be there for any rebound or anything to happen. So
Richardson will take the draw to the right of Perez now, up against Carlson, and they battle there well as Clarke comes in to help him. And Clarke with some room on the boards, taking on Jonathan Weaver one-on-one, and this is a little bit of a window here for Coventry as Carlson lays it for Weaver. Weaver has to pull up. He'll get a second chance to recycle the puck. Soft touch across to Soderstrom, who one-times it. And Coventry are forced back out into the neutral zone again, as Weaver will quarterback some good puck movement, and this is Jamarson. And he's trying to find control as Nielsen takes it right off his stick. And Nielsen was going to throw it in, but he'll shoot it from the outside, and there's a great rebound there to goal. And it's a shot with the intention of a rebound, and the rebound was there for David Clarke. And Clarke having some fun celebrating that goal, the fourth one of the night for the Panthers.
And that's what happens when you put shots on net. Corey Nielsen unleashed one. It popped out from the goaltender, Perez, and Clarke was there and just stuffed it right back in the net. So we got a 4-1 hockey game, and you can't say that they don't deserve it.
They certainly do, as they went to the net. It's just good hockey, as Nielsen was going to dump the puck in, and he thought better of it and decided he was just going to skate a little bit longer and take the room that was available to him. Coventry gave him the room. He shot it from the outside. He forced Perez to make the save, but it was a follow-up from Clarke, who really just came down the alley and was going to bounce anything out of his way in order to get to that puck. And he found a way to get it in behind Perez, and the fourth one of the night for the Nottingham Panthers, and they've restored that 3-goal margin again.
Well, the Panthers are trying to put out the Blazes' fire, and up until now, they've certainly done it.
It is. It's just embers just glowing at the moment in the Blaze. They were strong starting, but hard to believe what's happened here tonight, as the Nottingham Panthers have been relentless offensively, and they have been able to execute, and you could see that that shot was designed for a rebound, and Corey Nielsen got exactly that, and he got the follow-up from his teammate as well, and went right in there and finished the business. As now again, this is Matt Myers in on top of the play, battling with Cowley, and Myers is going to finish his hit there to Chatelet, wide side, and needs to just be that tenacity that's not there, and that's pretty good tenacity from Tony's. This is here, another chance. Cook with room and a shot, and Perez with a blocker. Cook will dunk it from the backside, and did well, Perez, to keep that out of the goal. And look at this. They're just out skating him, are the Nottingham Panthers right now, and it's becoming a little bit of a rout here in a second. You can feel another goal coming, but it's freewheeling hockey for the Nottingham Panthers, and it's almost at the moment like it's hard to believe this is a semifinal of the playoff competition. This game seems to be that easy for Nottingham right now.
Well, certainly Perez is in a turkey shoot at the moment, and his defense have evaporated because they're shooting from every angle, and referee blew the whistle there, and I think that was sympathetic to Perez in goal because the puck was loose and he just didn't see it.
Face off to the left of Perez. It's 5-on-5, no penalties on the play, but it is triumphant stuff right now for the Nottingham Panthers, as it is one-way traffic in on Perez, and it looks like they're coming for more, and you would expect the way things are going, there are more goals to come tonight from the Nottingham Panthers, as Danny Stewart gets it back the other way, and Robinson has to control that as Carlisle Lewis gets in there, and he's trying to draw a penalty and trying to goat Danny Myers, but he ends up taking the punch in the end, as Carlisle Lewis was trying to play the waiting game, and it looks like he got outweighted in the end by Danny Myers.
Yes, Carlisle Lewis is trying to take somebody with him to the box. He's trying to create a spark, He's out there. He took another punch. The referee's got to take notice of that because he's waltzing with him at the moment.
Carlisle Lewis is on his way to the penalty box. We're 11:08 remaining in the second period. And Maury Hansen is going to give 2 minutes for roughing to Carlisle Lewis, and I think that's going to be it. And so what is the result? Another Nottingham Panthers power play. And that is not something that Paul Thompson wants to see up on the score clock with his side down 4-1. And this has the signs of being a long night for the Coventry Blaze.
Well, they put Carlisle Lewis up there for 4 minutes. Now it's 2 minutes.
So he's going to get roughing. That was the indication from Maury Hansen as he went through. And out comes Bruce Richardson with Jay Galbraith and Johan Molin. David Clarke and Kevin Bergen back on the blue line for the Nottingham Panthers, who are looking to score here again and try to sting this game right out. As skating up the ice is Richardson, one of the leading scorers for this Nottingham Panthers team. One of 6 20-goal scorers. Richardson in the end this season. And he has had a standout year in his first year. Great work in front, another goal, then bang it in as Richardson just scores another one. And we're just looking, Richardson's got 12. He doesn't score as many as his other teammates, but that's his second goal of the night. And it's 5-1, and it's going to get silly here unless Nottingham Panthers do something silly. I think they are on fire and an unstoppable team tonight.
Well, it took an empty net for the Sheffield Steelers to get 5 goals. And it took 59-minute odd for them to reach that score. The Panthers have got that halfway through the second period. Boy, do they look on fire.
They certainly are, and the Blaze are back in position at center ice, and they can hardly understand what's happened to them tonight. Perez has not been great, but the Panthers have been excellent at executing their game plan.
Yeah, I just can't believe what a difference in a game this is. I thought this was going to be a close scoring game. I thought it was going to be a game between 2 goaltenders, and the Panthers, the Nottingham Panthers have just come out and proved me entirely wrong. Their goal scoring prowess has just been phenomenal.
Morrison making his way up the middle of the ice and trying to lead by example as the veteran forward, but really, and there's another penalty, and it's going to be to, looks like it's going to be to Matt Myers, as he was back behind the play, involved in some extracurricular activity, and Maury Hansen has given Matt Myers 2 minutes for roughing. Here's an opportunity for Coventry to try to get the lay of the land, maybe back to equal level again, but at the moment it's one-way traffic down towards J.F. Perez.
And looking at Paul Thompson over there, he is trying to contemplate how he could bring his team back after being down 4 clear goals.
Opportunity here in the power play. It's just there is half the game left to go, and you can't overreact, and you just got to keep chipping away at it. And Perez will catch that one. Is right on top of the play is Brendan Cook. And we talk about Bruce Richardson, who scored 2 goals tonight. Bruce Richardson actually just the 12 goals this season, so more of a setup man. And Brendan Cook scoring 33. So, but here tonight, Bruce Richardson picking up 2 and 2 huge goals at a very important time of the season. It's that leadership quality. Obviously, Richardson brings the assists and is more of that playmaker type player, but boy, has he been where he's needed to be tonight to score goals.
Yes, and they're getting goals from everywhere. They're not just getting it from their power forwards.
Lever's skating up out front for Cook, and Perez has to come across, and that's a shorthanded opportunity, and they're still creating the offense. And you see Perez just firing the puck out into the neutral zone, and he's frustrated now. He feels a little bit abandoned by his team defense.
Well, there's a confrontation over on the bench with a Coventry player calling out a Panther player. And is that Lewis?
Tessier and Carlisle Lewis having a conversation, and Maury Hansen will have to assess this right now as tempers are flaring and frustration is high. And you see some of the players, the quality.
Panthers player is furious.
Carlisle Lewis, I think, has gone back to the bench and out of potential. He's come over here now to the penalty box, and he's going in. So is Bruce Richardson. Just scored the goal for Nottingham Panthers, Richardson. And they both go to the box. There's the initial penalty, 1 minute and 27 seconds still remaining to Matt Myers. And we're going to have a 5-on-4 power play still in effect for the Coventry Blaze for 1 minute and 27, as both those penalties look likely that they will be coincidental. And Coventry are patiently working their way out the zone. They've got a good spread attack coming out, but it's what can they do in the offensive zone to put pressure on that man right there just trying to play the puck. Good work. They've got 3 players down low. Barrie Moore going to shoot from the outside, and he scores. And I guess that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They shoot the puck, and good things happen. It's never a bad play to throw the puck on net. And I don't think the Coventry Blaze would have thought it could have been that easy, but it just was, as Barrie Moore scores from his off-point position.
And that's as simple as it is. And as you say, put the shots on net, don't get involved in fisticuffs, and keep out of the penalty box, and good things happen. And they got one back immediately. Barrie Moore, not unaccustomed to scoring.
And I thought maybe we would see this tonight, to be honest with you, Wayne, as that was the 25th season for Barrie Moore. Because you look at both these sides, I mean, they just have great depth. They've 5 guys with 20 or more goals for the Coventry Blaze, 6 players in Nottingham Panthers. They just play that sort of game, and you watch them here in warm-up and the way they're building up. I just had a feeling that the offenses were going to have a big part to play in it. And the stats for both goalies are decent, but when we've seen them this season, I haven't seen them be the difference in winning hockey games. I've seen it come down to the players out in front of them that have been the difference. But here we are, regardless, with 9 minutes to go in the second period, and Russ Cowley is taken out of the play by Nick Tonys, and coming in is Barrie Moore, who just scored for Coventry. And O'Connor stepping in on Clarke, and it moves wide side to Weaver, who will get it to Moore, and this is good patient work by Coventry. Is starting to settle down a little bit and feeling a little bit encouraged by their recent goal.
And starting to string a few passes together. But Clarke's on the puck now and just dumps it in the Coventry zone.
Ferreira out on the play, and everybody finishing their hits, putting the money in the bank, as they say, for hopefully tiring out the opposition come the end of this game. And there's a high play there, and that's going to be a penalty, and an unnecessary one, as Greg Wood comes in and hits Mark Richardson high. And an uncharacteristic play from Greg Wood, who wants to get out there and have some impact in this hockey game, who hasn't got many shifts. And he comes out and takes a penalty.
I thought he hit him with an elbow as well, because he definitely went high. And Coventry player looking to take somebody with him, and certainly number 8, Matthew Myers, is not very happy about what happened to him out there.
And it was Wood who was finishing a play on Mark Richardson, and then Myers gets himself involved, and Danny Stewart's never too far away if he's on the ice as well, if there's going to be any sort of activity and emotion and passion. Myers, a big game player, and so is Stewart, and no doubt Stewart, a successful player since arriving here for the Coventry Blaze, frustrated by tonight's scoreline as well, but it's a power play for the Nottingham Panthers, and they've got a chance to reestablish that 4-goal lead again. Tessier has it here on the near boards, and they're working hard to get control, and Nielsen has it on his stick. He'll patiently go back and allow his team to regroup. He's got a high post here from Brendan Cook, looking to stretch out this Coventry Blaze defense. And this is Nielsen back, quarterbacking his team's power play. Tessier unable to control it cleanly on the forehand on his stick, and it is chipped out down the length of the ice.
So, Brent, do you think there's an opportunity for Coventry to come back, even though they're 3 goals down?
I think there's an opportunity. I just think that you keep taking penalties and silly plays when you've just established some momentum like they just did, and I think it's going against you heavily. I think that they'll be struggling to come back from this one here tonight. As Richardson will move it here to the bottom to his teammate Myers, and Myers is patient, doesn't give it up cheaply. He makes Forsythe work, and Forsythe's actually lost his position there, and all of that defensive struggle. Matt Myers came up with the goods and was in a better position than when he started. As Tessier will roll, Nielsen, it's down low to Richardson. Richardson can't hold on to it. Forsythe gets out muscled here, and Myers short side trouble, and it was a backhand play by Brendan Cook, who tried to dunk that one high up over the glove hand of Perez, and Nielsen will be the first man to it. Myers is patient, gets it out to his player coach. Down low shot from Nielsen, and no one is able to touch it in front, and Perez breathes a little bit of relief as he's able to catch that and fall to his side there just to make sure he had it for certain.
Well, Blake Forsythe wanting to stop any action happening, just slashed somebody in the back. Fortunately, he got away with it, but they're not taking any prisoners out there. Forsyth lost his stick, and one of the forwards gave him his. And a Panther was sitting outside of the crease there, and Forsyth just chopped him down like a piece of dead wood.
The Blaze need to be careful with that stick and getting any further penalties. They've got 26 seconds left on this penalty to kill here with Greg Wood. And they are doing well to keep the Panthers at bay and keep the scoreline at just 5 goals for Nottingham. Currently 5-2 up against the Coventry Blaze with 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. Deschadley shoots, and it's a good snatching glove save from Robinson, but kind of a subtle shot and a pretty smooth release to Deschadley using the defenseman as a screen.
Yeah, that's first baseman's. Thank you very much. I'll catch that one. I'll stretch out a bit and get the guy runner out at first base. And haven't you got anything better than that? Is it? You think he might have gone up top with a blaster, but it was just a wrist shot that certainly Robinson just stretched out and got.
Weaver keeps it in, pokes the puck back, as Tonys will set up Richardson. Richardson on 2 goals currently. Tonys with a shot. It's high off the shoulder, and Perez resets himself, gets his equipment repositioned as Greg Wood is back on the ice, and we're 5-on-5 play now. And Jamieson high on Richardson. This is to Deschadley. Deschadley's got support. Wood going to the net. And Wood will forecheck hard on Tonys, and he'll come up with the puck. Stops on a dime, but Deschadley gets ushered through, and no one is able to get on top of the puck for Coventry, and the Nottingham Panthers will make it the length of the ice now. A little bit of interference. Jamieson on Bergen. Maury Hansen elects to allow play to continue. And Bergen now looking to control the puck out to his point position. Richardson with a good shot in front. This is danger. Here's Clarke. He'll score from there, but he doesn't. And unbelievable that he doesn't get it up high and over the outstretched Perez. Perez was down and out and at David Clarke's mercy.
Yes, it might have been the cut of his stick. Maybe it's one of those benders, but he just couldn't lift it over the sprawling goaltender who was down and out, but just couldn't put the puck over him. J.Ed Paris was out for the count.
He was down, certainly with his face down. He had made his commitment on the play because the puck was tipped in front, and then Clarke gets to it first, and the puck was just a little bit in tight on Clarke, who really needed some extension to get it up and around and elevate that puck high into the goal, and he'll be feeling a little frustrated that he didn't make more of that opportunity, because David Clarke is one of Britain's best natural goal scorers, 27 this season. As O'Connor will outlet it up to Lewis and onto the stick of Cowley, and Cowley will come down the right wing. He mishandles it a little bit, but he shoots it on Robinson.
Robinson covered up quite nicely, and Lewis went around the back of the net and had words with a few players, and he's trying to lift his team by trying to create some spirit out there.
Danny Stewart, an emotional player as well, leading this line. Here's a shot. It's coming right in. It's Lewis, and Lewis has got to be careful not to get penalized. He can push that fine line between being aggressive and being tenacious and playing with purpose, but it seems to be that Maury Hansen will allow that to an extent, but he will draw the line very firmly when he feels you've just gone past what's acceptable.
Well, Robinson is playing an outstanding game, but to be honest, he hasn't had that many shots to stop. Certainly it's been a turkey shoot at the other end.
Face-off won by Nottingham. Myers to Richardson. And Richardson will hold up and take a breath behind his own goal and have a look at this Coventry Blaze alignment before they move up the ice. It's tipped on by Tessier, and Forsyth back to O'Connor. And it was the passing play made by a hand that is the reason why the play has been called, and the whistle, and a face-off now. 4:59 to go in the second period. It's 5-2 for the Nottingham Panthers. And they've scored 2 of the goals that they've got are as a result of power play. And it's actually, looking back through our notes, I think it's a 3rd goal there. The power play as well for Richardson. So they do have 3 power play goals here tonight. And that really is obviously the difference in the game. A 5-2 scoreline, a 3-goal lead for the Nottingham Panthers, and 3 of those goals in the power play. So the Coventry Blaze have got to stay out of the penalty box, quite simply, if they want to mount a return into this game. and we will see the shot tally after the second period, and I think you're quite right, and it will be lopsided for the Nottingham Panthers, even more so than it was, as they clear the puck out of the zone, and it will make its way the length of the ice when Coventry get back to touch it. So Connor, it'll be an icing call. And you start looking at the players that have really been effectively absent tonight for the Coventry Blaze, and you could probably start drawing quite a list, because Carlson and Calder are the players that really need to step forward right now, but we're still waiting for them to have their fingerprints on this game for the Blaze.
They haven't been inspirational, and they haven't been leaders. So the only person that's tried to step up is Carlisle Lewis.
Good shot from the point from O'Connor, and here is Carlson now with Himalarson. And Himalarson is trying to make a play, but he's outmaneuvered, and it's a play from Galbraith trying to clear it, but he can't clear it, and it's out in front, and Nielsen will punch that to one of his teammates' stick, and here they come the other way. And it's a good line, and it looks like there's Calder is just sort of making his way back, and he's a goal scorer. He needs to be given the chance, and they're now having to play defense again, the Coventry Blaze. And Nottingham Panthers are completely content just to keep the Coventry Blaze in their own zone, as they are doing to them at the moment, as there's a real battle going on in front. And Matt Myers was getting locked involved with Forsyth. And Myers looking to have a conversation with Hansen, but that play is over, and Myers now getting back involved as both teams make line changes, and there's a little bit of a discussion in the Coventry Blaze end zone. But it was something else in that first frame. 3-0 up went the Nottingham Panthers on quick goals. Richardson, Cook, Nielsen, and then the late touch 22 seconds to go from Stewart. But it's been more of the same here in this second period. And the goal from Clarke, where he crashed the net on a shot from Nielsen, and then the play by Richardson, who was able to get another good offensive opportunity and bang that puck home. But Barry Moore threw one from the point, and it went in quite easily on Robinson. And so the Coventry Blaze shouldn't give up hope just quite yet, but they need to get the puck in the other zone. As Bergen against Soderstrom, and Cowley picks up the puck, and here's a chance for Coventry to take it the other way. And the play is lifted up into the crowd area. And the crowd here all a little bit. You look across the Coventry Blaze fans right now, it's a very still, quiet white and blue section. And there still is quite a bit of buzz going on underneath us here with the Nottingham Panthers fans, but quite a quiet crowd over there with the Sheffield Steelers as well.
Yeah, the Sheffield Steelers crowd have been extremely quiet, because I don't think they would fancy another battle for a final against the Panthers in their home ice.
Shot from the point from Jamieson. He misfires. And it is controlled back deep into the corner as Richardson is under pressure from Stewart. Stewart gives him a little bit of an extra shot. Lewis comes in to add some support for his teammate. And Lewis looking to control, trying to draw this Panthers defense out away from their goal. Here's room for Lewis to shoot it there, and Moline just came in the nick of time. But Lewis doing very well to control the puck on the board and then roll out to get kind of a one-time shot opportunity and available in the slot.
That's what you call a player with supposedly quick hands, but Lewis couldn't find them. He must have left them in the dressing room.
Well, he uses one of those old wood sticks, and it's old school. As most players nowadays are using composite sticks, and I'm not sure that's the reason. It was Moline who came in and interfered on his shooting attempt there, but it's interesting to see the old school approach still in effect. There's a draw to the left of Robinson, and it is Tony's who will collect it. Ed Hill will play it off the board and be content to get it out, but it's right into a Nottingham Panthers player, and this is Brendan Cook. Wide side to Galbraith, out waiting, and there was a great play, and it was wide open in front for Matty Myers to connect onto the end of it, but he couldn't get it, as it was just a little bit too far and too strong, as Cook again will come in and put pressure on Perez, as this is Danny Stewart moving well up the ice. Great skater, wide side to Jamieson. Jamieson's going to outweight Robinson. He goes around the end. Good stop there for a big man to turn back on himself, but it's a play where nobody from the Coventry Blaze is able to support him. And now again, Hilmarsson. He's going to turn back as he's trying to find available options. And he's got Jonathan Weaver, and that's a great option coming down the right side as Weaver surveys what's available for him as Hilmarsson can't get everything on it and has a quick play for a stick in front to deflect the puck. And we're inside the last 2 minutes of this second period. as Clarke rips one off the end boards, and there's a change made where Nielsen comes on the ice. Didn't touch the puck, didn't want to be caught for too many men on the ice, as that's played across in a dangerous one in front of the Panthers net. But they have it in the neutral zone now, and David Clarke is going to play it safely down to Bergen. And Richardson with great control there, trying to, as you said, once again, draw out and stretch this Coventry Blaze defense. And Clarke is going to just lay it deep into the corner. And he's got Carlson once again working hard in the defensive end. That's not where you want Dan Carlson putting his best foot forward. You have to do it. But the Coventry Blaze need some offense now as well. Here's a chance. Carlson's now offensively moving forward. Calder pulls up. He's dislodged from the puck, and this is a chance for Bergen with Clarke stepping in. Bergen's got a backside play, and he makes a hard one. And is this a partial 2-on-1 chance? Potentially. As skating into the play is Calder. Calder will shoot from there, but it's blocked by Tonys, and Calder, you can see almost an air of resignation in his body language as he shoots that puck and can't get it through on goal.
Certainly the Panthers are just easing through the second period with the seconds closing down, and unless the Coventry Blaze have a huge change of fortune in the third period, I think the Panthers have got this in the picnic basket, on the cooler, and whatever expression you'd like else to say.
And they most certainly do. And after 2 periods of play, it's 5-2 for the Nottingham Panthers. And we just recapped the scoring in that period. It was Clarke who scored the opening goal, and then he was assisted on the play there by Corey Nielsen from the point. And it was a shot there from the outside, and then it was Richardson who ends up scoring for the Nottingham Panthers as well. But Barry Moore strikes back for the Coventry Blaze and makes it a 5-2 scoreline after 2 periods. So that is us, and we look back, and it's a pretty fair reflection, you'd have to say, Wayne.
Yes, I think that the GB coach, Paul Thompson, will have a special mix if he can bring his team back from 3 goals down in the third period to do something here, because the Panthers are just on fire, and the Blaze, quite frankly, haven't started their fire yet.
You're watching an Elite Ice Hockey League broadcast brought to you by HighDavid.tv. We'll join you soon for the third period. I think the Coventry Blaze need to focus on trying to score in the first 5 minutes of this period. If they can score and make it a 5-3 game in the first 5 minutes, and they know they've got 15 minutes in which to sort of put a lot of pressure on the Nottingham Panthers, and then anything can happen. I think the next goal is pivotal to be able to turn it into a 2-goal lead again, or a 2-goal game, and they just have to start playing with some more confidence, and that's difficult, I think, when you're down and you've had this sort of performance tonight that the Nottingham Panthers have had. And the Coventry Blaze have played okay. They haven't been terrible, but the Nottingham Panthers have been a team that has played with purpose and with some inspired play tonight.
And if you're going to go into a final against a team that won the league, this is the sort of performance you'd expect to see, and they're certainly putting it on.
Well, exactly. It sets itself up for a big showcase final tomorrow evening as Nielsen goes back in behind his goal, and he just sort of wedges it into the half-boards area, and this is Moley, and he'll take the room that's given to him. He has to pull up as he's matched foot speed by Adam Calder, and Adam Calder physical there on Moline, and that's a good sign from the Coventry Blaze, as they need their leaders to take control of the situation. It's about being accountable and being responsible for what's happening out there, and you can't continue to dig, as we spoke in the first period. What are you going to do now? And here is Carlson skating well, looking to make that play, and he makes a good play, wide side. So Calder skating in on the right wing as a left-hand shot, and that's always got that stick advantage coming to the inside, but Ed Hill meets him well and drops him back and forces the Coventry Blaze all the way back behind their own goal. As David Clarke fronts up the eye of the forecheck, and it's those plays there that need to be connected. But Barry Moore, who scored a second goal for Coventry, is quickly on top of the play. Bergen now feeling the pressure and the heat, and Moore is going to come up with a shot right up front of Morrison. And a quick bang-bang play, and it's that type of play right there that needs to occur for Coventry to get themselves back involved.
Certainly that's what, as you say, they need to do, but sadly they're not stringing more than 1 or 2 passes. 2 great passes coming up to the attacking zone and into the Panthers zone, but then it falls down because they don't know where the opposite. They don't know where their teammates are, and it falls down and breaks down in the zone.
Well, when there's such little in it when you get to this point of the season, it is the little things. It's anticipating the play and knowing where the puck is going to go and having a sense for what your teammates are going to do. And you have to anticipate that sometimes in hopes that they're going to you got some trust and faith in them that they're going to get you the puck or they're going to make the play or cover for you when required. And that's what confident teams do. And when you start to worry about that or wonder about that and hesitate, that's he who hesitates is lost.
Exactly. And what Ben Cooper just Ben O'Connor did, he unleashed a pass from his zone into the end zone. No chance of a Coventry player tracking it down. It's icing, comes back in their zone, and once again they've got to spearhead the puck out of their own zone and create an attack.
Coventry Blaze exactly are now faced off to the right of Perez. It's going to be Matt Myers, and he is going to take on Sylvain de Châtelet on this draw here now. 5-on-5. We're just outside. It's 17:53 left to go in the third period. And 5-2 is the most important stat. Currently the lead for the Nottingham Panthers as Nielsen shoots from there and it's tipped on in front. And Tommy Watkins is able to muscle the puck out of the zone as Galbraith just throws it back to an area. And they're that confident, though, the Nottingham Panthers right now, that just throw it back and know that Corey Nielsen's there, that he'll get to it. And this is Matt Myers, 2-on-2, and he'll shoot from a distance. And it's high and up over the head of Perez. And Carlisle Lewis can't connect a play, and it's a simple turnover. That's all that is. So work hard to get it back on your stick, and then just give it back freely to Nottingham. And here's Nottingham making something happen as Cook shoots from the goal line. Myers is there, and Myers with a second effort is going to control it in behind the net there, and he's going to force the Coventry Blaze to play defense against them. Levers turns the other way, and Cook right on top of Carlisle Lewis, and a little bit of a loose turnover here. Can Levers get to it first? And touched on well by Weaver out into a safe area. But again, it's positional play and about getting the puck into the right areas. And Nottingham have put the puck deep, but here's Jamieson skating well, and he's able to get it the length of the ice. And big athletic frame of Lee Jamieson moving well, but he ends up losing his position. And here comes the Nottingham Panthers back with numbers, looking to throw it in front. And Perez tries to glove it down, but can't control it.
And even when the puck doesn't fall to a Panthers player, the Coventry Blaze just don't seem to be able to string a few passes together to change the direction of the play. And in the neutral zone, the Nottingham Panthers just seem to get it back.
It's patient play behind their own goal. Dan Myers right up the middle of the ice. It's touched on up to Bergen, and Bergen tries to swat it in, but Forsyth will pick up that loose change, and he will turn himself around. Deep here in the zone now. And the neutral zone is... It gets in on top of Robinson, and Robinson will loft that out into the neutral zone area. And it's a puck possession game now. And it's about territory. And it's in the neutral zone territory. And the Nottingham Panthers know they're not going to get scored on there. But here goes Bergen right on by. He'll shoot, and he scores. Finishes it to the low glove hand as he climbs up into the glass. And I think this thing's over. You can feel it because the Panthers know what they're doing. And they go out and have got it done again for the 6th goal of the night.
Well, to me, he emphasizes everything that's good about the Nottingham Panthers team. And you can see he was facing both the goaltender and 2 defensemen. He didn't panic. He didn't look around. He shot on net. 100% of goals are shot from shots on net. And he put it where Paris just couldn't get it.
Great shots, and he certainly took his time, and he was very calm about it. He didn't snatch at it. He took it smoothly, did Bergen, and he used the defenseman for a screen, and he took his chance, and he made the most of it, beating Perez low to the glove hand, and that is a 4-goal lead once again for the Nottingham Panthers. And we don't want to say it too early, but I think we all know what's coming. This game is going to be controlled from here on out by the Nottingham Panthers. As deep is O'Connor making a play to Sylvain de Châtelet. It's broken down in the neutral zone as Corey Nielsen will go back. He'll fire it around the boards, and it will get out of the zone as O'Connor now is resigned to go back and collect it. He's got Brendan Cook watching him as it outreaches Jonathan Weaver, and there's a holding called, and it's going to come against the Coventry Blaze again. We'll wait to see as Hjalmarsson is going to be penalized for holding onto Matt Myers. And Matt Myers kept his feet moving and kept sort of changing his body position, and he ultimately draws another penalty against the Coventry Blaze.
Exactly. And I think this might be the end of an era for the Coventry Blaze team. They've always managed to hang on to 80% of their team, but they've categorically failed to ignite in the playoffs, and they didn't win the championship this year, so I think it's a rebuilding process for Paul Thompson. He's looking at his notes and trying to change things around, but 6-2 down with 15 minutes left to go. I don't think there's any way back for him.
Nielsen now controlling the puck, and they have had a number of players there with the Coventry Blaze that have been there for a while. That continuity is very important, but it's not really a case of players getting stale because the players are still performing and putting up the numbers. But what's obvious here tonight is they are getting beat by a team who not only looks very hungry for it, wants it, but is executing extremely well in the moment. And that's one of those things that it's hard to coach. The players have got to take the moment when the moment comes. It's the old expression of define the moment or the moment will define you, as Tessier is loading up Nielsen, and Nielsen takes the one-timer. It's on the stick of Richardson for a power play for the Nottingham Panthers once again, and a chance to increase to a 5-goal lead. As Nielsen over to Tessier, and it's blocked. And it's just the way it bounces back favorably onto their stick. It's just a good, controlled, patient power play, and Nielsen shoots and misses hard and low as Perez is completely pulled out of position. Cook in the corner, battling. It's back on his stick now. And Tessier slowly waiting to see what's available. Nielsen touches it back. Tessier shoots, and it's bouncing as it slows up in front and hits a Nottingham Panthers player. And they can do whatever they want at the moment, can the Nottingham Panthers. They are that calm and collected as Nielsen. That's an absolute bullet. And it is picked up by Danny Stewart. And he will skate well. He's a great skater. And he'll take it up here on the penalty kill and try to make something happen and have a shot, but it's kept to the outside by Corey Nielsen. As Galbraith is putting pressure on Cowley, and this is Weaver. He can't get the pass from Jameson. And now Nottingham are coming up and putting Jameson under pressure. And it's those disconnected passes that just lead to so much trouble.
The Nottingham fans are in chorus now and singing all their favorite anthems, and they're as happy as any be.
Well, Nottingham 2 years ago, the playoff champions. Last year, the Sheffield Steelers winning the playoffs, and it's going to be more than likely. We've got 13 minutes left to go here. The Nottingham Panthers and the Sheffield Steelers head to head in tomorrow's playoff final as Moline looks to move it station to station behind the net as Galbraith. He's got Richardson back door. Moline shot, touched on, and it's picked up by Cowley. He'll quickly move out of the zone. And Carlson, they're trying to get an odd-numbered rush as Samuelson is beat to the puck by David Clarke. Moline is now going to battle with Carlson. Carlson right out front. Play to O'Connor driving down the slot. And the Coventry Blaze frustrated as David Clarke and O'Connor take acceptance to each other.
Yes, a lot of handbags at 10 paces there, but a good stop by Robinson in the net, and he went down to cover up the puck, and they tried to jam it loose, and O'Connor was in there. He lost his helmet, but Robinson said, "You ain't getting this out of me. We're 6-2 up, and you're not having another one."
There's Chatelet to take the draw to the right-hand side of Robinson. What can the Coventry Blaze do? And we look at Paul Thompson, and he's got his hands there behind his back. And knowing Paul now for a number of years, it's been a while since you've seen body language like that. And it is an interesting time, and it'll be an interesting summer of decision-making, as it always is every year for teams, as Matt Myers is trying to make an offensive play without a stick, and he ends up skating ahead as the clock was still running there momentarily, but it's stopped now. And everybody's starting to loosen up, I think. There's been a pretty good response from the cheerleaders and the mascots down the far end. It's been a good festival-like weekend so far. Obviously a disappointment today for Cardiff Devils fans, and looks like a disappointment here today for the Coventry Blaze fans, but the largest contingent is the Nottingham and Sheffield faithful, and they've got it all to look forward to in the pubs and bars in and around the rink here this evening as they get ready for tomorrow's game. Barry Moore with a quick play, but it's not done yet. And it's 12 minutes to go, and crazier things have actually happened. They don't happen that often, but they have actually happened. And you never know when they will. As Forsyth, reverse, Jamieson to Moore, and they need to get some speed going to the Coventry Blaze. They're a little bit slow coming through the neutral zone, and they're just being really taken off the play by a more energetic and fast skating Nottingham Panthers side, who's got a little bit more panache, to be quite honest, and a little bit more style and flair in how they play.
And I think the one word that you missed is dedication and determination, because they just are at every puck, every loose puck. They're 4 goals up, but they're battling down every puck that's available.
And that is the difference. We commented earlier about Ryan Finnerty making a play on what was effectively a dead play or a done play, and he made a play out to Ashley Tate in front of the nets, and it is that sort of tenacity and urgency on the puck and that sort of work ethic that is going to lead to success. And if you want to win the big one that everybody wants to win here and win their last game of the season, you've got to be willing to do more than the other team.
Particularly when you're playing in the opposition's home rink and they're waiting for some sort of silverware this year, and the only chance they're going to get is Nottingham getting in the final.
Exactly. As Carlisle Lewis is throwing the puck away to nowhere, and Dan Tessier plays it back in behind the goal line, and that's exactly where the Nottingham Panthers want the Coventry Blaze. 200 feet from their own goal, but they're now about 60 feet out. This is a shot from Denny Stewart. He's moving well. He's got control again. An overlap coming, and a shot there from Greg Wood. It's in front as Carlisle Lewis is whacking away at it. He's in good position, but he couldn't find the puck and draw it out, and it's shielded by O'Connor back to Soderstrom. David Clarke losing his glove on the play there. O'Connor got Richardson right on top of him. Richardson in front, and it just redirected off of a skate as Richardson was trying to find Kevin Bergen, streaking to the net late coming off the bench, and Carlson one-on-one up and around Galbraith. Shot there from Carlson. He maybe had an option coming down the middle, but at this moment in time, those vision for your players in and around you starts to close down too, because players start trying to want to do things on their own because they're so frustrated. And Jamieson just fires the puck up into the net, and his frustration gets the better of him, and the referees discussing whether or not they want to assess that as a discipline issue.
And when you look at the angle in which Coventry Blaze were trying to score, George Awada tries those shots, and would talk to George Awada, the Giants regular, and I said, George, you got more chances of winning the lottery than shooting from there. Oh yeah, but I've scored once like that, he said.
Well, it is. You have to shoot. It's a numbers game. You know, at the end of the day, the goalies have 92, 93% save percentages. They don't have 100. So the more shots you take, the more likely it is that you're going to score. They still have to stop them. As it's out to Jamieson, and he rips it around. It's on the near side boards. As both teams are in there in numbers, and it's a battle where sticks are up, and Myers right in those grit zones as it ends up on the stick of Brendan Cook, and he'll streak down the right wing here, looking to make something happen. Shot from the outside. It kicks off of Jonathan Weaver's foot, and Galbraith lays it into the corner, and Jamieson just gives it right back to him. And it's those loose pucks that are so frustrating for coaches to watch, because it's so easy watching it from here. It's so different there, obviously being on the ice, but great shot from Cowley.
Yeah, great shot. And if anybody was driving the net, the rebound was juicy and sitting there, but no one followed up.
Good job by Nielsen to drive to the net, and he almost takes one off the side of the head for his troubles, but he makes the play and goes to the net where good things are going to happen, and now he's got the puck on a stick, and that's a result of making a good hockey play in the previous sequence when he gave it to this far side wing and went to the net.
Yes, and never give up. You're 4 goals up. Don't sit back. Just keep pressuring. Best defense is offense.
And it's important here now with the Nottingham Panthers in this last 8-9 minutes. It's important to have the right form going into tomorrow. You want to have confidence. You don't want any injuries. You want to make sure that you're preserving your energy as best you can, but you need to still be playing well and able to throw on the intensity and the urgency required. You can't turn it off and on, because tomorrow's game against Sheffield will start at a very high level. To see these two teams here tomorrow, and as said, it's not done here this evening, but if you're watching this game, you know what's happening here tonight. The Nottingham Panthers have been that dominant and have been that good that this 6-2 scoreline will
I would suggest ear defenders for tomorrow's game.
Clarke putting pressure on Soderstrom deep into the corner. He's the first man to it, and he pulls up. He's looking and appealing for a holding the stick call from Soderstrom. It's played around the boards, and the icing call is waved off as out of the net comes Robinson. Played long up the ice, and Bergen, and he is just inside the zone when he collects that. But I think a very accurate remarks about Kevin Bergen, because Kevin Bergen, as you said, he epitomizes everything about the Nottingham Panthers team that they do very well. And he plays a gritty, tough game and a hard-working game. He's not maybe the fastest skater, but a highly effective player every time he touches the puck.
You'd always want a player like him or Brad, or in the early days, Paxton Schulte for the Giants, who you know that's going to give you 110% out there. And if the puck's on a stick, he's got just as much chance of scoring as not.
There's a switch of the centerman as the referee Dalglish wasn't happy with the alignment of his two face-off contestants. It'll go the length of the ice though here now, and it's going to be an icing as O'Connor goes back to touch it. And we look across there to Paul Thompson now with his arms folded. There really isn't much communication with much of his Coventry Blaze team. There really isn't much to say at this stage. This is effectively 8 minutes left in his club season. The GB team goes on and goes to compete in Poland next week, and they'll have a training camp here. A number of these players obviously will be in that squad. But it's a difficult end to the season, no doubt. And no doubt, as we mentioned, some decisions will be made by a number of teams this summer. But Nottingham still in it here now as Myers moves it up, and here's a one-on-one. And there's going to be a penalty there as Bergen got wrapped up with one of the Coventry Blaze players, and he's going to get 2 minutes for roughing. But that was a 2-on-1 developing for the Panthers, and no doubt the way things are going, they were looking to put a 7th on the board.
Yes, and unless a miracle happens, I don't think on a power play they can only score 1 on a power play, so they've got to find 4 goals in 7 minutes and 53 seconds. And if they haven't found those so far in the game, I think it's highly unlikely that they're going to do in this short a time.
Back to Himarison and into Calder. Calder skating, and Tony's able to break that up, but down low is Calder. Weaver can see him there, touched on and snatched right up and scooped into a bucket. Is Robinson seeing that seeing eye puck into the back of his catcher mitt, and he'll take a face off here to the left.
And it was just like effortless. Come on, guys, you can do better than that. You must be able to shoot better than that.
It's a fun time for a goaltender as the minutes tick down. You've got yourself a comfortable lead and an opportunity for even Robinson to fine-tune some of his things ahead of tomorrow in live action in a game here, and where he can feel comfortable and not have to feel the pressure of the result really being in the line. He's in a good, comfortable position. Gets a little bit of extra pressure here, having to see another team's power play. And it's just great preparation for the Panthers, who have put themselves in this fortunate position to be in this driver's seat by those 3 early goals in the first period.
Well, I would have thought if you're a publican, your beer sales are going to be extra high tonight because there's going to be lots of celebrating Nottingham Panthers fans and maybe a lot of Sheffield Steelers fans commiserating to say, hey, we got to face this team tomorrow.
Well, the Sheffield Steelers were equally impressive, maybe in a different way, and chatting with some of the other colleagues in and around the arena here today, talking about how Sheffield Steelers can win. They can win ugly, they can win pretty, they can win if you got to grind out results. However they got to do it, they can do it. That goes the length of the ice. He's going to get penalized for that, Ed Hill. And how frustrating that is as Ed Hill plays that all the way down. It goes high in the glass, and he'll get penalized and play the game. And now the Nottingham Panthers are 5-on-3 down, and they gift an opportunity here for Coventry Blaze to do something here and try to get a 3rd goal on this and try to leave with a little better taste in their mouth this evening.
Give their fans something to cheer about on the way home.
Joe
Coventry isn't that far from here, but it's a long trip home when you've been thrashed 6-2.
Exactly. And Henry out on this power play as Paul Thompson elects to give some opportunity to a young player. Still got Carlson out there. Calder, Weaver, and Himarison. And a chance for Calder to shoot. Taken by, and got to be careful. That low glass on that far side is something that it's one of those things with a big wide rink here. It's so easy to get the angle to play that puck out, but Coventry with good possession now. It's on to the stick of the Châtelet. Châtelet will look at his options. He backpedals down to the goal line. They stretch themselves out, the Coventry Blaze. Get themselves in a big square with Hamarson sat in the slot. Calder and Henry. Nielsen gets that big, long, rangy stick in front of the pass. Chadley patiently out to Calder. And it's tipped in front, and Robinson sees through a screen. And he'll tidy that up with 26 seconds left to go, and the game counting down, 6:19 in this third period, and the game.
Calder made a neat play there, stretching out like he was going to pass it behind the net, and then just put a shot on the goal. Probably not the fastest shot, but he was hoping that Robinson had his eye looking somewhere else. And referees here. We've got another penalty out there, and I don't understand how that one happened.
Well, Ed Hill shot at the length of the ice, and Bergen got the roughing initially, so it's 5-on-3. Weaver getting some instructions from Thompson, and he's going to now march down.
So it's a 5-on-3, but a lot of the time is already eluded.
Weaver wide side play to Calder. And they're content sat on the outside and really stretched too far away from where they need to be, and that's right in the middle of the ice, the penetration zone. And they're slow moving right now, and that's what happens when you're feeling a little lethargic, as the Coventry Blaze are. And up the middle of the ice, there's an effort made by Richardson to find Bergen, who just released out of the penalty box. And Perez up to the stick of Chadley, who will skate in the zone. Waiting, he's got an option here from Weaver. Weaver will shoot from there. It's blocked, though. It actually hits Barrie Moore in front, and Moore is struggling here now to get himself back to full speed out there as he goes for a line change on the bench. And 10 seconds remaining in the power play, the 5-on-4, as that's a turnover, and it's a foot race, and Levers is going to go on a breakaway, but out comes Perez to play that puck. And a chance and a missed shot from Nielsen as he stepped right up. And
Corey Nielsen there, he got another one there.
Most certainly
Great
did.
poaching.
And you take your chances when they get given to you. As Stewart gets interfered upon there, but no penalty, as Nielsen can't get it out. Great block, though, by Tonys to battle. And Nottingham is playing that committed defense now and showing you that they're a team that hasn't just won a game today. They're a team that is preparing themselves to win again tomorrow. Nielsen played around. Carlson finishes hard on him, onto the stick of O'Connor. As Carlson is hit hard by Tonys, and Tonys has had a real physical shift. And blocking shots, playing the body, and making sure to get those pucks out. But it's on the stick of the Panthers. Clarke to Myers. Myers keeps making his way. That could have been a tripping call there. It's an offside that's going to be called, and Myers almost running out of steam, and he's had another big game. And you look at every player up and down that Nottingham Panthers bench. They've all performed well tonight.
They certainly have. And no better than Myers, who was an outstanding for his team tonight. Hasn't been that dominant on the score sheet, but Myers has played his heart out.
Face off won by the Blaze. Soderstrom wide side to Forsyth. Carlisle Lewis tries to get in there first, and that was a big effort coming across from Tommy Watkins to hit Richardson. He didn't get to him. Watkins and Richardson battle there. And Barrie Moore back on after taking that shot from one of his teammates a moment ago. He's out in the corner collecting it right across in front. And O'Connor will step down, play it around, as the Blaze are controlling the puck here, but not looking as though they're going to unlock any doors, as it goes right onto Levers' stick. And Levers has a look back to see what's available, and he will chip it deep into the zone, and they'll go for a line change and get out new troops. And clever little move trying to be made there by Forsyth. He gets a second effort, as there's a few young players coming out for the Coventry Blaze. Ledgard comes out, number 10. And he gets his first shift of the night as he has the puck on his stick now. He's skating up well, and he's able to get it deep. It's not put in with a whole lot of emphasis, but it got there. And Tonys is battling with him and Wood. Now they're being matched 2-on-2 in a corner, and Tonys, he has had a very stingy defensive effort. tonight for the Nottingham Panthers, and has been rock solid. Weaver, wide side play to Henry, and Henry will get it deep and do a good job, and Weaver will come in and support against Matty Myers. And Tony's has had a real long shift out here. He's been out here for probably the best part of 2 minutes.
Certainly has, and he's logged the ice time all night.
Bergen, fearless leader up front for Nottingham. Play, and Nielsen comes right through the middle, and Nielsen just has very clean hands. He's able to pick pucks out of tight areas and get that shot off.
It was very accurate, and Robinson couldn't handle it and dropped it in front. Bergen was there to collect anything he could.
Coming down to 2 minutes remaining in the game. 6-2 in favor of the Nottingham Panthers as they march down on their passport to the playoff finals. It's only 2 minutes away now. Galbraith moves it in front, and the Panthers fall on it, but O'Connor will pick it up and start to head the other way. Can Coventry score a third goal tonight? They've got a chance now. Carlson backside play in front, Robinson. And that was Calder, and he scores heavily every year for the Coventry Blaze. 42 goals this season.
Certainly had 2 cracks at it there, but Robinson was up for it all the way. And they're certainly honing their skills for the final tomorrow night.
Galbraith out-muscled on a play by O'Connor, who's had a commendable performance as well. A lot of ice time for a young British defenseman in a very important situation. Great experience helping him develop him for the GB national team. And no doubt, Paul Thompson's Coventry Blaze again next season. As Barry Moore will have a chance shot there. There's not going to be a whistle from here on out. The Nottingham Panthers want to keep this play going. As Jamieson with O'Connor chipped off the boards. And good work here to keep his feet moving is young Ben O'Connor, who's logged a ton of ice time. And here's Tony's, the man that we mentioned before, who has had a ton of ice time, had a shift. He's back out there touching up for icing, and a face-off with 44 seconds back in the Coventry Blaze end zone.
Yeah, I think you can say without a shadow of a doubt the final is going to be between the 2 hottest rival fans in ice hockey in the UK. And that's between Nottingham Panthers and the Sheffield Steelers. And this place is going to be jumping tomorrow.
It certainly has that fervor and feel about it as you see the Sheffield Steelers fans start to make their way out of the building. They know what the result is going to be. They've seen their team already go through to the semis earlier today against Cardiff as Lagowicz plays the puck in front, and he gets his first ice time of the night with Ferrara as well. And O'Connor is trying to knife the puck out. Ferrara can't quite get there in time. Here comes Denny Stewart. Plays it out for Cowley. Cowley will shoot from there. It's wide and high. And Jamieson can't keep it in. 20 seconds to go in the game. And tomorrow is going to be the 2 big boys. The Midlands teams taking it on as there's another shot for Robinson, and he bats that away with ease as the seconds tick down. And that is it. The Nottingham Panthers are going through to the Elite League Playoff Finals 2009. They're going to take on the Sheffield Steelers. They won here tonight 6-2 in what was an incredibly impressive display. And we talked about at the onset, talk about the offense of both sides. We saw the offense tonight of the Nottingham Panthers, and boy, was it lethal.
I'm not going to say it's going to be a close game tomorrow, because after saying it already, I'm proved wrong. But both teams can score, as we've seen. And one team scored 5 goals in the first semifinal and 6 goals in the second semifinal. So it says all you have to say about the game. Both teams have got the firepower. Let's see if the goaltenders have got the stopping power.
And that will be the test tomorrow, as Jody Lehman is going to be backstopping his Sheffield Steelers against Corey Nielsen's Nottingham Panthers here tomorrow night. This has been the Elite League broadcast brought to you by iDavid.tv. We got that correct and sorted here to finish. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast, folks, and hope you enjoy the final tomorrow. From Brent Pope and on behalf of Wayne Harden, we thank you for listening.